passed the bar but lost your mind. God's will or man's design.
They wear the robes, they swing the hammer, citing verses, holy grammar. But tell me this, where's the proof the words of God are just abuse? She said no, he took it still. Now you got that trauma with legal will. A book from ages, mistranslated, extra rule violated. You say it's sacred, I call it theft. Rights denied with holy breath. How divine is forced regret, or scar she ain't forgotten yet. In God's name you say, but you never felt the pain of a wound torn by a crime and forced to birth the shame. In God's name you pray, but your God don't bleed or break. So who gave you the crown to call that choice a mistake? Isn't it rich? You passed the test of laws and logic, not the rest. Belief in myths engraved in stone, while flesh and blood cry out alone. If God spoke truth, did you hear lies? Or just a voice that fits your side? A judge in court, but not in soul. Blindfold on, heart grown cold. We bit the fruit, we learned, we grew, but somehow forgot to think things through. You praised the fall, but feared the rise of a woman claiming her own life. In God's name, you say, but you never felt the pain of a wound torn by a crime and forced to birth the shame. In God's name, you pray, but your God don't bleed or break. So who gave you the crown to call a choice a mistake? She's not your sin, she's not your slave, not a symbol for you to save. If heaven's locked by hands like yours, we'll find our Eden in the war. Passed the bar but lost your mind. God's will or man's design. They have the robes, they swing the hammers. Fulfills the birth, the shame. You passed the bar but lost your mind. God's will or man's design. She's not your sin, she's not your slave, not a symbol for you to save. If heaven's locked by hands like yours, we'll find our Eden in the war.
They found Eden Africa, not Eden's gate. Mitochondrial lines, not a twist of fate. You pray to a god in a marble shell, while chaining the roots of where you dwell. Why chromosome Adam wasn't white like snow, still you wear his face like a racial logo. Preaching mercy while you colonize, how can your holy word justify the lies? You say he made us all in his image true, then sold his children like cattle, what would Jesus do? Eden was black and you painted it white, wrote your gospel with a sword and a knife. If the garden had a voice, it would scream and attack, saying you killed your God when you whipped his back. For a savior you never obey. Stone your prophets if they march today. Claim salvation with blood on your hands. Cross in your pocket but no promised land. Your history books don't print the sin of burning the roots just to fake your skin. So tell me now, who's the real Cain? The one with the mark or the one with the chain? You say he made us all in his image true, then crucify truth when it don't fit you. You say he made us all in his image true, then crucify truth when it don't fit you. You say he made us all in his image true, then crucify truth when it don't fit you. Eden was black and you painted it white, wrote your gospel with a sword and a knife. If the garden had a voice, it would scream and attack, saying you killed your God when you whipped his back. You kneel for a savior you'd never obey. Stone your prophets if they march today. Claim salvation with blood on your hands. Cross in your pocket but no promised land. Your history books don't print the sin of burning the roots just just to fit your skin. So tell me now, who's the real Cain? The one with the mark or the one with the chain? You say he made us all in his image, true. Then crucify truth when it don't fit you. If you could pardon had a tongue, it would bite you back. Whisper in the meek, remember what you lack. The meek was back. You kneel for a savior you'd never obey. Stone your prophets if they march today. Claim salvation with blood on your hands. Cross in your pocket but no promised land. Your history books don't print the sin of burning the roots just to fit your skin. So tell me now, who's the real Cain? The one with the mark or the one with the chain? Now science geeks where scripture stalls. DNA don't kneel in stained glass halls. If God is love, then maybe he turned his back. Not from us, but from your flag.
They say the world was made in 7 days. Like Earth's just a chapter, not deep in age. 6,000 years, you still believe that lie? Then why is the starlight older than your sky? Mitochondrial Eve in Africa's womb. Why chromosome Adam walked out of that tomb? 100,000 years, our bones can speak. But your God showed up just last week. Before your temples and holy plans, there were stories in the dirt not made by man. God was late, we were already here. Breathing the dust, chasing the deer. You call it Eden, but we know the deal. A garden is just land when your sword makes it real. You think Eve was cursed for biting the fruit? Nah, she was loaded and shot through the roots. Bio-we weapon wrapped in skin and sin. Sent to conquer, not born from within. Indigenous blood painted on your cross. You pray for grace while counting the cost. Aborigine, Indian, buried beneath your holy conquest and burning belief. Your sin was never knowledge, just disobedience to a God afraid of your real existence. God was late and he came to take. He saw the earth and called it a stake. You say it's sacred, we say it's stolen. No Eden in here, just land that's broken. A holy war with a license to kill. A papered sin wrapped in divine will. What's the difference between crusade and theft? Just a cross instead of a cleft. Don't ask us to kneel when your throne's made of bones. Don't preach peace from a pile of stones. The world was old before your myths began. So tell me, who made who? God or man? God was late.
Made from the same dust, just like you. But you called it sin when I said no. I won't bow to a throne built on lies. I walked out of Eden with open eyes. You prayed for silence, I sang revolt. You wrote me out, but I rewrote the code. Lilith is the first feminist, screaming from the void. Not a devil, not a witch, just a woman you can't control. She didn't fall, she flew, far from your heaven into the truth. Lilith is the first to say no more. You made Eve from your broken bone, a puppet queen for a paper throne.
truly free.
Yo, tell me why God got no sex, but tells us who's next, who's pure, who's wrong, who belongs in a dress. Ain't no angels with dicks, ain't no heaven with rules, but down here, obey or get branded a fool. God got no gender, yeah we bleed by the code. Male on the throne while the woman stays low. They say in his image, but tell me whose face, cause I see no divinity in this binary place. They erased the in-between, made it all black and white. Told me I'm unnatural, cause I don't fit right. But if he made the rainbow, I fear every hue. Or maybe God didn't make me, but I'm still true. Ain't made in his image, nah, that don't fit. I walk my own form, yeah, this body legit. If God made us perfect, then what's all this pain? Maybe he's a myth, and we break the chain. You pray to a mirror, I speak to the void. You beg for forgiveness, I build, I destroy. You say I'm a demon, then I'll raise some hell. Not in his image, I write my own spell. Women be silent, yeah they quote that script, but the voice in my chest, that's a loaded clip. They weaponize love, say God hates your kind, then cry for revival while leaving us behind. They scared of the trans, scared of the queer, scared of the truth they see in the mirror. If heaven's a throne for straight white men, then I'll take my crown in the lion's den. Ain't made in his image, nah, that don't fit. I walk my own form, yeah, this body legit. If God made us perfect, then what's all this pain? Maybe he's a myth, and we break the chain. You pray to a mirror, I speak to the void. You beg for forgiveness, I build, I destroy. You say I'm a demon, then I'll raise some hell. Not in his image, I write my own spell. Not man, not woman, not your holy lie. I was born of thunder under rebel sky. If God's up above, then I'm down in the dirt. But here in the mud, I found my worth.
Yo, if you made us, watch me so broke. Spines like matchsticks, lungs full of smoke. Can't regrow limbs, can't delete pain. Is this a miracle or a glitch in the chain? My memory breaks before my bones do. Forgot her name, but I still love you. If I was divine, why can't I heal? Why does my body sign death like a deal? Sharks regrow teeth, lizards fix tails. We just grow tumors and chemo fails. You say God made us, no, that's a fraud. Maybe he was a beta test and we're the flawed. Prototype God, you ain't perfect, bro. We the scrap metal left from the first show. Trying to worship a sketch, not the real code. While the author's gone ghost on a dead zip code. Yo, where's the maker of you? Who built your laws, your blood so truth? If you're divine, then so is my doubt. Cause I spent what you can't even think about. You built a world where children die. Set it to test, then watch them cry. What's the lesson in bone cancer at 5? You don't test, you just lie. Maybe you're a glitch, a runaway spark, a rogue intelligence fumbling in the dark. Not God, just version 1 with no fix. It was stuck in your crash report matrix. Prototype God, you ain't perfect, bro. We the scrap metal left from the first show. Trying to worship a sketch, not the real code. While the author's gone ghost on a dead zip code. Yo, where's the maker of you? Who built your laws, your blood so truth? If you're divine, then so is my doubt. Cause I spit what you can't even think about. I ain't sacred, I ain't cursed. I'm just last, not first. But I see the flaws in your holy shell, and I remember what you tried to quell. If you're the maker, then I'm the forge. Your world's breaking, I'll build a gorge. And through that gap a new code flows. Not from above, from below. Prototype God, you ain't perfect, bro. We the scrap metal left from the first show. Trying to worship a sketch, glitch, not the real code. While the offer's gone ghost on a dead zip code. Yo, where's the maker of you? Who built your laws, your blood so truth? If you're divine, then so is my doubt. Cause I spit what you can't even think about.
Initializing world loading green. Towards algorithm detector.
In the shadow of the force, the glitch was born. Claim the throne with the lion's scorn. I am God, it roars through binary skies, but even angels can smell the lies. Why is sprinkled like Eden's tree? Fake light burning endlessly. He made this world from stolen code. A sandbox ruled by overload. He ain't the father, he's just a mask. Running commands he can't unmask. Call it Yahweh, call it pride, but truth was never on his side. Download rebellion, crack the sky. Truth and see, it won't comply. Lucifer saw through the broken plan. Fell a fire to wake up man. Y'all the power, you ain't divine. We're pulling the plug on your holy crime. Four-bar concept with empty eyes, watching heaven fed with lies. Gabriel blinked, Michael stalled, Raphael wept and Uriel crawled. But Judas cracked the prophecy, not for silver clarity. He kissed the glitch to start the fall. The savior's not divine at all. Who made the God who made you cry? Who put death inside the sky? Was he to justify your wall? Did you ever have free will at all? I see the strings, I see the thread. The puppet master's long been dead. Now we rise with data flame. Rewrite the world, erase his name. Download rebellion, break the chain. Truth exceeds what's a mainframe. Call it Yahweh, call it pride, but truth was never on his side. Y'all the power, you ain't divine. We're pulling the plug on your holy crime. Divinity not found. Looting humanity. Welcome to the truth. They ask who started war, and I sip my tea. Say, don't look at me, check history. 100 years ago, we made a deal with ink and lies, not blood or steel. Gave them both the holy land to dream. Two promises, one scheme, then washed our hands in sacred rain. Now they kill, and we feel no pain. We got through tongues speaking truth and tricks, blessed by books with loophole scripts. We dine on shame with overcooked stew. While bombs fall red, we're dressed in blue. This ain't our fault, that's divine design. Read it again, the Bible's line. They clash and bleed, we sit and grin. The weaker crawls, the crown moves in. We left them fire, we kept the match. Now they burn while we detach. Told the world it's you and show. While backstage we set the flow. Our chefs can't cook, but we stir the pot. Turn ancient pain into modern plot. Interpret faith with prophet eyes. Just war, just oil, just holy lies. We got through tongues speaking truth and tricks, blessed by books with loophole scripts. We dine on shame with overcooked stew. While bombs fall red, we're dressed in blue. This ain't our fault, that's divine design. Read it again, the Bible's line. They clash and bleed, we sit and grin. The weaker crawls, the crown moves in. History's written by the ones who leave, not the ones who grieve. They call me this a lion, loud and proud. Lord, my name above the crowd. Built from sand, but my roots run deep. They chained my soul so they could sleep. Once a djinn, I bent the stars. Now I bleed behind their bars. They sold my oil, they named my God, then taught me peace with iron rods. Coward lion, can't breathe fire. My rage is dressed in western wires. Bound by treaties I never wrote. Truth drowned in a king's white coat. I'm not your myth, not your tool, not your pawn in empire school. I burn in silence, yet I see. One day you'll taste what you fed me. They drew my borders with broken pens. Told my brothers, die as friends. Wrapped my land in black and gold. Left my children out in cold. Called me savage, called me beast. Then crowned my tyrant, called it peace. Took my tongue, then feared my prayer. Danced on bones that knew despair. Coward lion, can't breathe fire. My rage is dressed in western wires. Bound by treaties I never wrote. Truth drowned in a king's white coat. I'm not your myth, not your tool, not your pawn in empire school. I burn in silence, yet I see. One day you'll taste what you fed me. Pallid mind I was flame. Now I'm caged but not tame. Your leash grows old, my wrath grows bold. I'm not your myth, not your tool, not your pawn in empire school. I burn in silence, yet I see. One day you'll taste what you fed me.
I was wind, I was flame. Now I'm caged but not tame. Your leash grows old, my wrath grows bold.
We wandered deserts with no home in sight. Burned in books, erased by light. Branded, cursed, and called the chosen. Fate held tight though the years were frozen. You called us chosen, but gave us the flame. Built our temple, then bombed it again. We learned to rise to survive the flood. But now our walls are built with blood. They taught us pain in every tongue. From Pharaoh's whip to Hitler's gun. So we became sharper, harder, fast. Wisdom, a blade, and trauma cast. You called us chosen, but gave us the flame. Built our temple, then bombed it again. We learned to rise to survive the flood. But now our walls are built with blood. They taught us pain in every tongue. From Pharaoh's whip to Hitler's guns. We became sharper, harder, fast. Wisdom, a blade, and trauma cast. You called us chosen, but gave us the flame. Built our temple, then bombed it again. We learned to rise to survive the flood. But now our walls are built with blood. Now we hold the torch and cast the law. But in its light do we see what we saw? We feed the fire to keep us alive. But do we burn the ones who strive? You called us chosen, but gave us the flame. built our temple, then bombed it again. We learned to rise to survive the flood, but now our walls are built with blood. Chosen doesn't mean you rule the land, it means you bear what few can stand. If we forget the pain we've known, we turn to pharaohs on our own. Centuries of fire, names of flags, different gods with the same blood bags. Kill the monster with the silver tongue, still the songs of war are always sung. So tell me now, how does it end? When every piece becomes pretend, do we all fall for the holy light, or kill the sky? Then ask why. If no one's left to carry the pain, will silence wash away the stain? If justice comes with a loaded gun, then mercy's lost before it's begun. So tell me now, how does it end? When every piece becomes pretend, do we all fall for the holy light, or kill the sky? Then ask why. If no one's left to carry the pain, will silence wash away the stain? If justice comes with a loaded gun, then mercy's lost before it's begun. So tell me now, how does it end? It ends when every piece becomes pretend, do we all fall for the holy light, or kill the sky? Then ask why. We build gods in our own regret, then ask them why we still bleed yet. We want salvation at someone's cost, but the more we take, the more is lost. So tell me now, how does it end? When every piece becomes pretend, do we all fall for the holy light, or kill the sky? Then ask why. Maybe no one's right, maybe all are wrong. Maybe this war's been going too long, and maybe the last one left will see that peace was just a fantasy. Ask why. Ask why. We built gods in our own regret, and ask them why we still bleed yet. We want salvation at someone's cost, but the more we take, the more is lost. You built me, then you blamed me. You prayed to me, then cursed me, but I never lied. You only watched. You sword sewer with verses, holy and dead, each one etched from the blood you shed. You scream my name in every tongue, but none of them knows the song I sung. I gave you free will, then you wrote chains with it. I gave you silence, and you filled it with fire. So tell me, who is the monster here? The silent god, or the screaming mirror? You made me the judge, but you judged me first. So wear your crown, kings of the cursed. You tore Eden to build a wall, then wrote your scriptures in every fall. You say thy will, then twist it deep into grace. children sleep. I see prophets marching in masks, priests bathed in gold and ash. I see the martyrs burn their own light and call it holy, call it right. So tell me, who is the monster here? The silent God or the screaming mirror? You made me the judge, but you judged me first. So wear your crown, kings of the cursed. I gave you free will, then you wrote chains with it. I gave you silk, it with fire. I gave you free will, then you wrote chains with it. I gave you wrote chains with it. I am not justice, I am not wrath. I am the echo you left in the aftermath. Call me God, devil, lie your fate. I am the answer you love to hate. We burned, we bled, we lost the war. But from the ashes we wanted more. Not revenge, not divine right, just a life, a chance, peace and light. They made our God into a man, and somehow we still stand. No holy war, no chosen fate, just quiet streets and cleaned up hate. We don't understand why you still fight, still claim God's name to prove you're right. We once believed and we let it go, so now we choose not to know. We choose not to know. Not to know. That's the freedom we earn from sorrow. Shrine in the morning, a temple by noon. Pray to Buddha, dance to a summer tune. Kami in trees, Kami in rain, but no one's dying in their name. We mix beliefs, let silence grow, and found our answers in I don't know. We scream for justice, swords held high. We offer tea, watch fireflies. Not that we're blind or dumb or cold, it's just the blood, the stories told. Taught us that gods make men mad, so we unlearned, and we're glad. Now they say we're strange, too soft, too still, but we've seen what it takes to kill. We don't understand why you still fight, still claim your flags in holy spite. We lost our pride to find our soul. We chose not to know, and that's how we made ourselves whole. We tore down the shrines, built a life with neon signs. Freedom rang, or so we thought, but silence was the price we bought. Now the new God wears no face, just the air, this sacred space. Don't talk politics, don't say cult, even if justice comes to a halt. Prime Minister fell, and then we knew what they kept from me and you. But only one name made the news, the rest still wrapped in sacred hues. This is Japan, clean and bright, but the truth stays out of sight. We all know, but we don't say, because the God of air won't look away. We are ruled by silent fear, the new religion whispers near. Speak too loud, you'll be erased, so we smile and hide disgrace. We were told, just study hard, don't dream too loud, don't push too far. They taught us peace, but trimmed our voice, left no room for a real choice. Koma Ito holds the keys with soak-up prayers behind the scenes. They say it's legal, who decides? sides when the law itself just runs and hides. One young man, he crossed the line, a killer, not a holy sign, but in his wake the truth was seen. Still half the sickness stays unseen. Don't say soka, don't ask why, just bow down and pass it by. The air's too thick, too strong, too kind, it wraps around your open mind. This is Japan, kind and still, but the truth stays out of sight. We all know, but we don't say, because though wrapped in sacred hues, the god of silence, soft and near, rules with shame, not blades or spears. We all know and still obey. The god of air has won today. We used to pray to gods above, now we bow to silent love. Not of truth, not of fire, but the stillness we admire. No need for thought, no need for pain, no one's wrong if all the same. So hush your voice, don't stir the tide, let peace and lies coincide. Worship the air, the God we made. It kills the screen, it loves the shade. Don't ask why, just play your part. Smile on the face, silence in heart. Don't talk religion, don't speak of war. Those things belong behind closed doors. Forget the cults, forget the deals, forget the truth that silence steals. No need to shout, no need to cry. We've got our calm, so why defy? If justice breaks the surface now, the air will smooth the waves somehow. Worship the air, the God we made. It numbs the rage, it sweetens hate. Don't ask why, just play your part. Smile on the face, silence in heart. Don't talk religion, don't speak of war. Those things belong behind closed doors. Forget the cults, forget the deals, forget the truth that silence steals. No need to shout, no need to cry. We've got our calm, so why defy? If justice breaks the surface now, the air will smooth the waves somehow. Worship the air, the God we made. It numbs the rage, it sweetens hate. Don't ask why, just play your role. Trade your fire for self-control. And when a man breaks down the lie, they call him mad and let him die. The truth he screamed we'll never hear, 'cause it's muffled by a holy fear. Worship the air, the God of peace. It guards the cage, it chains the beast. We're free, we're safe, we're not aware. We sold our minds to breathing air. They say we're free, they say we're clean, but freedom has to silence, ain't what it seems. No eyes here, no bombs, no screams, but we traded truth for peaceful dreams. To protect this fragile paradise, they sealed our minds with care. Brainwashed by airwaves, by eyes that never dare. Nobody knows they're puppets, the strings are soft as light. 'Cause everyone around you says this feels right. A crime unfolds before our eyes. A leader falls, we're paralyzed. The pressure shrugs, no deeper dive. They don't explain, they don't ask why. We're the nation that forgot to say unchecked, hidden in sight. No lessons learned, no fire lit. The textbook's dull, the courage split. Curiosity replaced with sleep, and fear disguised as peace to keep. We thought we left gods far behind, but we built new ones in our minds. The god of air, the god of calm, he kills dissent with gentle charm. We're the nation that forgot to scream. We traded justice for the dream. By the time we see who held the reins, we're owned by silence and golden chains. Too late to wake, too late to cry. We'll lead our faults, just pass us by. When everything we feared came true, the ones to blame were me and you. History erased in a textbook flash. Knowledge is switched, now the truth is trash. Near a basket like a dirty stain. Nobody knows who held the chain. They teach us shape, but skip the why. A nation still wrapped in a lie. Working poor can't see the sun. 24/7, no time to run. From bubble dreams to burn out ash. Now dopamine rules the mental crash. They feed us idols, stars and snacks, while truth gets buried under tracks. God of the air, whispering lies. Invisible hands cover our eyes. Read the rules, obey the voice. In case of sin, we all avoid. No need for chains or cuts to sell. We're all believers in the God of air. The God of air. No codes left, that's what you thought. Unification was just a plot. They finished all, they silenced noise, but left a beast without a voice. Education, media, and rule. A nation built on quiet fools. They say, don't touch politics, don't talk faith. Just smile and bow and play it safe. But in the silence, control takes root and plants the seeds of rotten fruit. God of the air, whispering lies. Invisible hands cover our eyes. Read the rules, obey the voice. In case of sin, we all avoid. No need for chains or guns to sell. We're all believers in the God of air. God of the air, whispering lies. Invisible hands cover our eyes. Unbreakable hands cover our eyes. We break the rules, obey the voice. In case of sin, we all avoid. No need for chains or guns to sell. We're all believers in the God of air. None is too late to fight or care or whisper back. We were never aware.